Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at using the third dimension, but mostly we're poor at making art. My name is Benj.
And my name is Isaac. And this week, dear listeners, we branch into the unknown. The unknown being the third dimension.
Well, you say this week as if like we're going to do something in 3D now.
Well, we're going to draw 3D.
Yeah.
That's the title this week.
Right.
3D.
But we breached into the third dimension last week.
I don't know that if people don't know that, we should tell them that, because then that might encourage them to look. Sorry, my phone. Yeah, just interrupted by... Anyway.
By you playing something.
Oh gosh, it's happening again.
Stop playing things on your phone.
Maybe we should just stop and start this all over.
Nah.
No, we don't do that. No, we just go with it.
All mistakes.
We roll with the mistake.
Oh, we have to prove Bob Ross wrong. Right?
Yeah, see, the thing is, I was trying to distract us from anything to distract us from the thing that we did on Easter.
Yeah.
See, Easter's a big deal on this channel. If you didn't get a chance to notice, we released lots of videos Easter weekend. One of which just so happened to be what you have been asking for over 2 years.
Yeah, we get stopped on the street regularly.
Yeah, like, are you making the Easter animation? Are you making it? Is it going to be in 3D like you said that one time? How does that work with ballpoint pen and black ink? You know, lots of questions. But our answer came in the form of something I can only describe as a nightmare.
Yes. Today, we're drawing 3D just so we can complain about the whole process.
3D art is not for us, but that doesn't mean we didn't try it, you know? Because
and it doesn't mean that we're not going to release more
because
in the future.
Because that's what we do. We don't release things that should be seen. We release things that shouldn't be seen. Poor art. And trying the three-dimensional art in the 3D world we were even worse at that, I would say, than 2D art. I mean, that's arguable, right? But it's certainly difficult and time-consuming, and it's just plain gross.
Is that really a step lower than our usual art?
I mean, not really. It's just...
But if there was, it's what we did.
So if you haven't seen our Easter animation, basically what we're saying is don't do it. Don't look at it. Yeah. I'm so sorry. You don't show children under the age of, you know, like about to die. Because, you know, like if you're on your way out, maybe this will give you the encouragement you need to
move on,
let go, walk into that light. You know, because you're like, this world has nothing left for me. On to heaven, where things won't be like that anymore.
I've seen the Two Poor Artists in 3D now.
It also encourages you to know God, because now you know that, you know, if you don't go to heaven, it's going to be full of things that are terrible. And I'm not saying our 3D art is going to be there, because it's probably it's definitely worse. But like, this gives you a small glimpse.
You're saying that Satan doesn't pay us to contract us out?
No, he does not. And even if he did offer us a whole hotel and everything, we'd say no. The point is, our 3D animation was bad. I hope that's the point, because buckle up, because it was bad. And today, we're not going to draw in 3D. So if you're like already, you know, looking for the remote because you're watching this on your TV, or if you've smashed your screen on your phone and it just, I don't know, is still playing for some reason, like, don't worry. No 3D art in the drawing today.
Yeah.
But we're going to draw
the
topic.
It's 3D.
Yeah, the 3D.
Yeah, whatever
Two poor artists
puns we can come up
Remember, like, when we were kids, I feel like it was like, you know, a big thing to be like, you know, two poor artists in 3D. You know, like, that was such a gimmicky thing when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know, like, they'd have like Spy Kids. You remember the Spy Kids series?
Yeah.
Spy Kids 1, a masterpiece. A masterpiece of cinema. If you have not seen Spy Kids 1, go watch it tonight, right now.
It's good.
Get on your streaming service and find it. Spy Kids 2, arguably an even better masterpiece.
Or slightly worse.
I like the first one more. Yeah, okay, so slightly worse than the first, but
still a masterpiece.
But it gave you
still
hope.
In that realm.
It gave you hope when they announced the third one. But then third one was Spy Kids 3D.
Yes,
you know, and it was like, oh.
And when we were kids, if you saw something say in 3D, you knew it would be garbage.
It was going to be garbage, and it was.
Because they're always like, oh, we don't need to make a good story or effects
Mhm.
or do anything decent. We
No,
just have
because
to
it's
do
going to be in 3D.
slightly red line here and a slightly blue line here, and now
Uh-huh.
it's amazing.
Yeah, those crappy 3D glasses you had to wear
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah, they were terrible.
And it made everything look worse.
It did. The whole movie was in like red and blue,
Yeah.
sort of. And I remember taking off your glasses. You're like, I don't
Mhm.
want to wear paper glasses.
Yeah.
They didn't have like cool 3D glasses back then,
No, they're
like
just
sort of
like
comfortable
pieces
ones.
of paper you put on your face.
Yeah, because like honestly, 3D movies in the early 2000s were like for parents to go and take a nap while their kids
Yes.
watched a movie.
And like if you took off the glasses, the movie looked terrible.
Blurry. Yeah.
And if you put the glasses on, it looked bad.
And then Avatar came out like, I don't know.
Oh, and that changed everything.
It changed everything because suddenly 3D movies were cool.
Yeah.
And there was like, that's why it was such a big deal because people were like, oh, this is going to be terrible. And they saw it and they're like, wow, that was actually.
Well, and it wasn't just like,
great in
oh,
3D.
everything's blue and red now. Like
Yeah.
in the past, like it's like you put on the glasses and it was supposed to kind of filter out some of that red and blue. It didn't. It was just red and blue.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, I'm not going to get paper cuts on my ears
Yeah.
from some unfolded paper glasses. Like they're actually plasticky.
And like Avatar, like it just looked 3D.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Like,
right?
yeah.
Don't expect Avatar today. That's the whole point. Don't
No,
expect.
we're early 2000s at
Yeah.
best.
We're Spy Kids.
Yeah.
3D like 2. like
the sequel.
like
that should've existed.
when they announced the sequel and you're like they shouldn't have
Yeah.
made a sequel and it's in 3D again. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should also go watch
Stallone made another video game.
No, but like you should totally go watch Spy Kids 3D also.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch 1 and 2 first and then set your expectations for 3. There are some parts in 3 that are just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sylvester Stallone being the bad guy.
With his many copies
He's
of different versions.
It's like him playing like 7 different characters.
Because he's like trapped in the video game he made.
And I'll tell you what, Stallone does not have the acting skills to play anybody but Sylvester Stallone in a movie. Like Rocky is just Sylvester Stallone. Like that's all he is. Whatever his character's name is in Expendables, it's just him a little older.
Yeah.
Rambo is just Sylvester Stallone stuck in a jungle. Like he doesn't have a range. He's a very unique person, which makes him a good actor, I guess. I don't know. Do you really call that acting?
But in
like,
Spy
go
Kids
be you.
3D, he has like 12
Yeah, he has to play like a cowboy version, and like, oh gosh, it is a dumpster fire of a movie,
Yes.
but not as bad as what we did on Easter. Like that's
so true,
see,
so
bringing
true.
it full circle.
So
Our
true.
Easter animation was bad, but again, what do you expect, right?
Yeah. I mean, the people that do 3D animation, like you like watch like like Disney what are they called, like documentaries on like the people doing the art. It takes them like a long time
Yes, like years.
to like do the animations.
I never understood until because I watched the documentary on like how they made Frozen, right? And I never understood in animated movies, like 3D animated movies, how someone was like, I worked on 30 seconds of the movie. Like that was my
like
half
that was
a
their
scene.
job for like a year.
For like years. I worked
Yeah.
on 30 seconds. I'm like, how hard? Yeah, like they're totally, just scamming the studio. They could
Yeah.
And then we tried to do 3D modeling.
Right.
They don't pay them enough. They do not pay them
However
enough.
much they pay them.
I don't need to know how much it is. Like they don't have enough to retire after that 30 seconds of film. Like so it's hard.
Yeah. It is.
I will admit though, I'm going to start drawing now because that's what the people want.
Yeah.
They want to not think about our Easter animation.
People if we hit that 10-minute mark, people are going to complain
Yeah,
again.
like most of the people who started watching this video have already turned off this video.
Yeah.
Like that's really what we need to accept.
Yeah, well,
right?
most people only watch like 6 minutes. They probably skip to where
we know.
the end of your drawing.
We know people. We know what you do.
But I know that lots of our fans that we meet always complain. They're like, "Oh, it took 10 minutes before there was any drawing." Although I don't believe anybody comes for the drawing.
I mean, they can't, right?
Like I wouldn't listen to us talk either, but I definitely wouldn't watch us draw. But the 3D animation, that's a video I actually watched after I made it, which I finished it.
I know. I watched it too, and
I finished it very late at night.
Yeah. Did you have nightmares like I did?
Oh, of course.
Of like the heads turn.
But then I watched it the next day with my dad, like on the TV, because I didn't really have time to watch it before I posted it. You know, I like made sure it kind of worked a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, what do you?
And then I posted it.
That's enough.
But then I watched it like on the TV with my dad, and it was just.
You showed it to a loved one?
It was so funny.
Oh.
Just the way the heads moved.
If you haven't watched, we have 2 Easter animations now. If you haven't watched either of our Easter animations, they're both garbage.
Yes.
Like skill-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they're so on brand.
Yes.
Like 2 poor artists. If you're like, what did the 2 poor artists 2D animation look like? What did the 2 poor artists 3D animation look like? You know.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know.
Yes.
You think you know. You think you know what bad is.
Mm-hmm.
But then you watch them both and you're like, because you're like, oh, I've seen cartoons. I've seen even bad cartoons.
Yeah.
I've seen 3D, you know, cartoons. Even bad 3D cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
You have not.
No.
It is a new...
Like, you go back. Like, when you think of, oh, I've seen bad 3D animation, you mean, like, you go back and rewatch the first Toy Story, and it's like, oh, Sid looks like a toy also.
Yeah, you know.
Even though he's supposed to be a human. That's what you think of as bad.
Yeah, that's
You've never seen Nose First.
Nose First 3D.
3D.
And then trying to do not Nose First. My guys, I can't tell you. We sat there for 5 hours trying to model my guy's head.
Yeah.
5 hours. We threw away the first 4.
Yeah.
Because we're like, this can't be seen by the public. This can't be seen. Like,
and then like an hour and a half
there was like
of you just brushing his hair. I'm just sitting there.
I wasn't gonna bring that
watching you brush his hair.
If you've never sat and watched a grown man brush another grown man, but 3D model of a grown man's hair for hours, that was honestly my favorite part. It was very cathartic. Very cathartic. It was like, yes. Sit there. It looked like Christopher Walken too. I was like, sit there, Mr. Walken. I've got you. Your hair is in my hands.
Combing the hair.
It was it was like a learning experience. You know, I've never combed another man's hair. Have you?
Nope.
No. Like people, most of you, unless you have kids,
comb my own hair.
unless you have kids, you've probably never combed, or like a young. I guess if you're a girl, you have like a sister.
Right.
Maybe. Guys don't comb other guys' hair unless that's not clear to the general population. And if you do,
guys rarely need to use a comb. Like if your hair's short enough, a comb is useless.
Yeah.
Like maybe you'll like, you know, put some gel or something in it and do something.
Maybe.
But you don't like to actually like pull out a comb and comb your hair.
It's not something I'm doing, that's for sure. Well, I mean, I don't comb my hair, I brush my hair. I have curly hair, though, so it's hard.
Yeah.
You can't just wake up. I've always been jealous of those people who, like, just wake up and their hair is
like,
done.
I have a comb in case I, like, need it, but I pretty much never use it. I like to keep my hair, generally speaking, short enough that I just wake up and it's good. So I'll just say this. Last week we had a ban on you drawing women.
Yeah, no, you told me it was lifted this week.
Yes.
So I'm going in full force.
I figured I can't just keep the ban on forever.
Stop me from drawing women forever.
Yeah.
Like it would be good.
Like it would be wise. But you are allowed to. So like I'm just hoping that these are going to be 3 men, but
you'll see.
I don't want to get my hopes up too high.
What do women look like? That's really the question, right? Like, because apparently I've gotten it wrong several times. I don't think I have, honestly. I think I've just pointed it out and people don't like it. But I'm not gonna.
Because we're a PG channel. We don't need to point out.
I'm not. It was not. I'm not. Okay, I'm drawing them standing behind podiums. Okay,
yeah.
There will not be any curves to speak of.
You just give them like long hair.
It's not all that makes
And no Adam's apple.
Like, those are definitely... Anyway, the point is, I have
With
decided
long
to
eyelashes.
strategically place them behind a podium. Oh gosh, that's supposed to be the pointer finger.
Do they not have a thumb?
I mean, that you answer. Just look at it. No, they don't. I was gonna draw the second eye too, but maybe she'll just be winking.
Yeah.
maybe that's just. She's just like got a lazy eye or something.
That hair. Something about it. Just already wrong. The one strand.
It's true.
Oh.
Stop it! Look it. You made me laugh, but now it's like she got a hair in her mouth.
It's like some sort of weird cyborg creature.
I gotta fix it. See? That helped a little.
No, yeah, it definitely helped.
Right? Just an ear. Another ear. I don't know what's going on here. It's like a wig that's falling off.
Yeah, it still just like looks like her hair is like a plastic hat that she put on.
I don't know how to fix it though, so that's just what we got. I'll just add more. Just add in some hair. Man, I wasn't planning on doing this detailed hair, but now I don't know if this makes it better or worse, honestly. More hair. All the way down.
Yeah, for our audience members, if any of you have ever used a blender,
What?
the program.
Oh, the blend. Oh, I thought like a blender, and I was like,
No.
where is this coming from?
Blender, the program that is used to make 3D models. It's definitely I'm not gonna speak to what the best is because I am not someone who is qualified to do that. But it is certainly the most popular free software for making 3D models. But if you've ever used it, you don't need me to tell you that it is a painful experience.
Yeah. They just listen to us ramble about it. They know.
But I also encourage any of you, if you have any desire, you should try it out.
Like any desire, just period.
Yeah. Like it is fun to learn how to 3D
Oh no, we had
model.
a blast. We had a blast doing it.
Like you give up now. Whatever image you have in your mind of what you want your creation to look like.
No, you can't do it.
Give it up.
You can't. We're professional artists. We know these things.
Just let Blender.
This woman is significantly smaller than the last one.
Yeah, so that's just how it is. When you're standing next to a cyborg lady with plastic hair. But if you want to try it out, just let Blender take your character to where it needs to go.
Well, look at that. Her other arm's behind the podium.
Nice. One less hand.
Yeah, I should have.
The strategy.
Uh-huh.
Why is her head like a shield?
It's better than this one. That's all I'm saying. Just give it really straight.
Okay.
All these women get their hair cut by two poor artists.
Yes.
It's not good.
Isaac likes to sit there and comb their hair for hours.
That's only 3D models. These are 2D. Although I will say this. Okay, some of you probably already caught on, but I'm using 3D black today. 3D black ink.
Yes.
So like this is 3D. I'll add some little wisps.
Right.
3D black hair. And if you want to make it 4D, you make them smaller and you add another layer.
Yeah.
Like 4D black ink.
Yeah, because like everyone knows a different size of same lines.
Yeah.
Show perspective.
Yeah.
And what's perspective but just the other dimension being portrayed in the two dimensions?
This woman had a bad hair day and a bad face day.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it goes.
It's some people just
Born with bad faces.
yeah, and just have bad face days sometimes.
This woman might have a beard. Where was I going with this?
I think that's what we're all wondering.
Hair.
Is she like facing?
She has like a ponytail.
Yeah, but is she like
Look
facing?
at that! Look at that! I thought I was doubting myself.
Yeah, but the other ones are facing.
Kind of got
us.
like a banana peel on her head.
But she's like facing the middle.
Well, okay, women are allowed to turn their heads. I don't know. Just go with it.
Okay.
Oh no, the pen. The pen is rejecting this woman. Oh my gosh!
You pushed the wrong button.
Which button do I press now?
The undo button.
Is it this one?
Whichever. I don't push the undo
I
button.
feel like I'm gonna ruin the whole thing.
The undo button's banned. I've never
know.
pushed
I've
it
never-
before.
I erased. Now I have to get it back. Oh no, that's that button.
Well, you can push the undo button now.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh man, that was dangerous. If there's anything that's anything worse than watching us draw, it's watching us draw twice.
So true, so true. Or
But
watching us draw
3D.
in the third dimension.
Oh, so true. That's what her collar looks like.
Yeah. We were thinking of like recording ourselves making the 3D model, but it was like, no, people don't want to watch.
Do you want to sit there
5
for
hours
20 hours of
us just like barely changing a sphere?
Yeah, because it was like, oh, you know how many ducks we made? We made so many ducks. Trying to do a nose, guys, in 3D modeling.
Like just like,
you know, because like you're like, oh, just like draw, like, you know, picture you're making with clay, right? Like clay, you could just like take a lump of clay and just like slap a nose onto the clay, right?
Right.
You can't do that in 3D modeling. You have to like pull the nose from within the model, and it just makes a duck. And it makes so many ducks.
And you like watch these videos of like that of like people, professionals doing it, and they do make it look like that easy. They're just like, oh, and then you just pull out the nose.
Yeah, we're not
out of the
qualified.
face.
We're not qualified to do this, but those people in the world who like do like 3D tutorials, you're not helpful at all.
Yeah.
You're not helpful in the slightest, because like,
Yeah, first of all, if you're doing a tutorial on Blender, like to all of our fans that are making tutorials for Blender out there, don't use the hotkeys on the keyboard. Like,
yeah, not helpful.
people don't know all these hotkeys. And if you're going to use a hotkey, like really make it clear, like every single time you use it.
Like
you can't just introduce the concept of the hotkey and then use it 20 times in a row
as
later.
we're watching tutorials on how to just learn this program, it's literally like you start with a sphere, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, and it's a face, and you're like, whoa,
and then you have to like you have to like pause
what
the video
buttons did you
and go like frame by frame and like watch the
their
key
fingers
presses
on the keyboard, and then you're trying to do it, and you're like, this. Why press the same buttons?
and it doesn't do the same
make
thing.
anything. It made a duck man with an inside out face, like with no ears, and his eyes are sunken so far in. You know how many times we made the face and like split it open? We like pulled the face apart. There were so many times where like it's okay, we can fix this, No, we just need to start over. Which is why we went back to 2D today, but we're drawing 3D, 2D. So this is 3D in case you forgot the title. 3D. I'm going to get to the point now, you know, because this right here, this is Dr. D.
Ah.
And this over here, this is Dr. D. And this right here, Dr. D. There was like a scheduling mistake at this conference.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
I was wondering why.
they
Like,
booked.
how often do you have 3
They
podiums
booked
set
the
up?
stage. They booked the stage for Dr. D, and then someone called the next day. and They're like, "I just would like to confirm Dr. D," and they're like, "Of course, yes, Dr. D, have you down for this time on this stage?" And then the next day, "I just like to call," and they're like, "You're already booked. Get here," like, and then they show up in all 3 Dr. Ds. Just a freak accident can happen to anyone.
Somehow they had the 3 podiums.
3 podiums and the 3 I guess these are like whiteboards.
Yeah. All set up.
This was all one big whiteboard. They had to saw it into 3 pieces
like
the morning of.
Are they whiteboards or like presentation screens?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the 3Ds are given they're up on a 3D stage. So now I'm making it 3D lines there.
Yeah,
this is a
3D perspective
black
lines.
3D black ink to make it a 3D black stage.
You can tell that line's behind the other lines. Except for the part that's in front of.
Yeah, and actually, technically, if you look carefully, this is 4 dimensions.
Right.
But I'm only drawing 3D, so I don't want to draw your attention too closely to that. Let's focus on what these ladies' presentation is. And they're all giving, Dr. D, Dr. D, Dr. D. Giving
is it all on the same topic? Or?
Oh, you'll see. So Dr. D over here, she's giving a presentation on, so when you're, in our world, you have those people that are like smarter than the rest of us. They know it, and they want you to know it. And they give presentations on things like, well, technically we live in a 4th-dimensional world. We're like we're 3D beings in a 4-dimensional universe. But technically we only see everything in 2 dimensions, and our brain just interprets them as 3D. And you're like, I didn't realize I was so dumb. You listen to those guys, and they're like, I need to go to school. And then you remember how bad school was and how much you didn't like school. And you're like, I'm never going back to school. And then you're just like, I guess I'm just dumb. And then you put on another YouTube video and forget about it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We're all on the same page. This person is that person.
Right. Okay.
They're like, they're in a 2D world. See? So they're like, well, actually, we live in a 3-dimensional world. They have like this model up on the screen of, globe that's definitely in 3D. It's like a yo-yo, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely 3D model that. And they're just like, we live in a 3-dimensional model. And if you think we live in a 2-dimensional world, you're stupid.
Right.
Yeah, like she's giving that presentation on the 3rd dimension. The second lady is giving a presentation on 3D. When you think of 3D, what do you think of?
What, are you trying to get me to give up my idea for my drawings?
Do you remember how before this video started we talked about the 3 things I was going to draw? And I could only think of 2, and then I forgot the second one just now.
Oh, so you just want me to remind you of the thing?
Yeah, but I'm trying to do it in a sly way so the audience doesn't realize that.
Sly.
Let's just back it up. Ready for sly. So anyway, this is 2D. You're stupid. Now, if you were this Dr. D bench with the bad bowl cut,
right,
what would you be giving a presentation on?
Well, I would be giving it on the 3Ds of drawing.
Yes, that's right. Because I totally... this was clever, too. How did I forget this one? The 3Ds of drawing. D. Because she's an artist. You can tell by her...
yeah.
Her...
I feel like the first person is... What?
Ballpoint pen.
Well, what's
she's holding it in the other 3 fingers.
What's... Okay.
What's wrong?
Just the finger. I don't know if I just didn't notice it before, but it's like it's not connected to her hand.
I just want you to notice I never got better. I mean, I don't know. It's just 3 different kinds
I
of
think
bad.
the first lady looks more like the artist. Like she looks like she just got out of bed, still wearing her pajamas, half asleep.
See, originally
one eye closed.
Originally, I thought she was going to
hair a mess.
Speaking of this woman, originally I thought I'll just draw the second eye, and then like, nah, I'll just make her wink. She'll be like the flirty, she's winking at the audience. And I drew her hair, and I was like,
yeah, she's more like the just got out of bed.
She has like an eye infection, clearly, like like something.
Like even like her like collar, like that doesn't look like a fancy shirt. That looks like
No.
pajama shirt.
Yeah, I know. This woman legitimately, first Dr. D rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
Like, she slept in the parking lot and rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
Just,
Just
she's the conspiracy theorist type, you
Right.
know? Like, we live in a three-dimensional world, and everyone's like, oh, you crackpot, what is
Yeah.
this? 3 dimensions, everyone knows it's all 2D.
mm-hmm.
And she's like, but then how am I standing behind this podium? And they're like, crackpot, we don't believe you. You don't even know how to do your hair. You know, all conspiracy people, conspiracy theory people, like the people that are like, you know, like on the news talking about it. They've never seen the inside of a shower.
Right.
You know, like they don't know how to do their hair. They basically look like hippies.
Because they're the ones they allow on TV.
Yeah, they don't want like a legitimate conspiracy theorist on TV. People might start believing,
Right.
you know, things. So they're like, that guy, he sleeps in the parking lot and he believes this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let him talk about 3D. Yeah. Anyway, but Dr. D, the art doctor,
Yeah.
because that's a
The
thing.
art doctor.
She's giving a
I'm
lecture.
sure there's at least one person
Has their
with
doctorate.
a doctorate in art.
Do they have a doctorate in drawing?
Yeah.
Drawing. I want a doctorate
There
in
has
drawing.
to be someone.
You know, we're going to get famous. When we have our hotel,
we could get like honorary doctorates.
drawing doctorates. You
Yes.
know, we can give like commencement. Like, okay, let's just say this now. If you own, well, not own, but if you're like the headmaster, dean of a college or high school, and you want us to come, because, you know, graduation's coming up in the next couple of months.
Right.
If you want us to come give commencement speeches, we will 100%
Yeah.
come.
We'll do a whole speech on how even if you're terrible,
Even if you're terrible at something, don't give up.
yeah,
And then we won't have any good reason why you shouldn't. We'll be like, you probably, it's probably worth it. You know, like, you know, and the people will be like, why? And we'll be like, well, I don't know.
we're here.
We're in debt, but it's fun, I think. All right, we'll look at each other. We'll have to give dual commencement speeches. Is that a thing? Do we have to share one microphone?
No, I'm sure they got two podiums.
I'm sure they have two podiums.
If this place has
This place
three,
does, yeah. So anyway, the 3 Ds of drawing. Draw.
what's the third D?
It's not draw. It's draw, denose first.
Oh, yes,
Draw,
that is
denose first.
the best advice
Yes.
an artist can get.
Draw, denose first. Now you'll notice I didn't do that in this drawing. I went with shield
You went
face
with
first.
Shield first.
Face first. And look at how it turned out. It's not good. Let this,
Yeah,
you know.
you gotta do the nose first.
Draw, denose first. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, this is 3Ds, right? This is D,
Yeah.
this is D, this is D. Teaching about 3D. We're basically just done. All right? Like, this title's so wonderfully short. It's just 3D. You know?
Yeah, three Ds talking about 3D.
Yeah, they're just talking about multiple things. And that's how it works. They were booked on the same day. And it's just, I'm okay with that.
Although I would like to point out
That we did
your
it-
third person is not talking about anything.
Oh, I mean, you know, they're all talking about 3D.
Like I was kind of hoping for a third pun here,
The third pun?
or a fourth pun, I guess it would be, because you got the 3Ds, and then talking about 3D
what else?
in a 2D world.
What else can have 3Ds? So, let's do this. I'll just point out I drew 3 women today, and I don't see anyone complaining.
Well, I mean, people should probably complain. I think we could probably switch to me drawing now.
All right, well, then you take over. You show me what 3D actually has to do.
Okay. Let me just save this unfortunateness. If I can find the mouse.
That artist lady is quite something. She's definitely in her pajamas, too. The third woman looks like you when you wear a collared shirt and your collar pops up, and then you won't let me fix it, because that's what poor artists do. They're eccentric and keep their collar popped and don't let the other artists help them. 3D. I just want to point out how much better this drawing is than our 3D animation.
It's so true.
Like on a scale from, it's not even like there's not even a scale for our 3D animation. If you're a 3D artist, like a true 3D artist, like you work at Pixar and you watch our video, there's got to be at least one of you. There's a lot of Pixar artists.
Or if you just like, you know how like all those like VTubers use like 3D models as their character?
Yeah.
Like instead of showing their faces, they show like a 3D model that like animates as they move.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of people that like make those models by commission.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So if you're one of those, you don't have to work for Pixar. You can work for a VTuber or whatever.
Would you please let us know how bad we are?
Yeah.
That's
watch
the point.
our Easter animation.
Easter animation. Get a bucket ready. Like keep it in front of you for when the inevitable stomach churning starts.
Yeah. And comment either in that video or in this.
I'd also like to remind you to keep the lights on so as to help avoid nightmares.
Yeah.
It won't avoid
it won't be complete.
It won't cancel them out completely, but I find watching it in a well-lit room in the daytime helps. But yeah, just let us know. Let us know where the scale starts and where we fall on it. I know it's like we're going to be in the negatives on whatever scale, but just let us know.
Yeah. So
let us know how long is normal to comb a 3D model's hair, because I feel like I probably overdid it. But it was fun, though,
like how long does it take you to comb your 3D model's hair?
Because it like you put the hair on and it's standing straight up and you're just like, yosh.
Quoting like Eggman from
I'm quoting Dr. Eggman from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. And if you don't know that reference, come ask us when you see us in public. Ask us on the street or just like Google yosh.
Yeah, it's just a Japanese word.
Is it Japanese? I mean, I assumed it was.
I don't know what it means.
Does it mean
it's a Japanese?
I'm creepy. Yosh.
It's probably something endearing.
Oh. Well, he's like combing the hair while he does it anyway.
Okay.
What are you going to do that's better than my 3D? I drew 3D, 3D.
You took 4 puns.
3Ds, 3D, 3D.
As you mentioned, we were talking
3D.
beforehand.
Triple Ds.
With ideas.
Yeah.
And we came up with like 4 good ideas. And you took all of them.
You said, and I quote, do it. Now you said,
yeah, I'm just saying.
I think you said something about there being there's a barrel of ideas.
There's
and,
a barrel.
You're just scraping the surface of the barrel, and I'm like fish in a barrel, a 3D fish in a 3D barrel, and I can swim down deep. And this is what you came up with? What is that?
When I say there's a barrel,
you mean like small barrel, like a very shallow barrel?
There's like 5 things in the barrel.
It's like a dish that you thought was a barrel.
Yeah, there's like 5 things in the barrel, and all the fish are gone. Oh. This is like the
at least we're including
slime. At the bottom.
We're not going to draw 3D again. This is the one chance we get to draw 3D. The only reason we could do it now is if we did super 3D. But we already have our eyes open, so this is technically...
Yeah, we could do non-super 3D.
We could do 2D. That's an option.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe next week we'll draw 2D.
Just like the same, but one less.
Yeah. Yeah. This fella...
he has...
He's so, like... You're clearly going for something, and I'm looking at this just trying to understand... what it is, you know, because he has like Super Saiyan hair. Yeah. He also has like one of those golf hats on, and he has a leprechaun beard. I just don't know what all of it put together means, you know, and I don't know what it has to do with 3D yet.
Yeah.
He has like an elephant arm. I just want to point that out. That's what the arms and legs that elephants have, where there's just no defining fingers really.
I haven't drawn the hand yet.
You also missed with the body. The head is in front of the body, like it's falling off. Or this is
No,
the
he is
hunchback.
like he's a slight amount of hunchbackness.
Isn't it a shame when you're born and your head is like 3 inches in front of where it should be?
He has a
Your neck is like coming out of somewhere. What is that? 3D. Now I feel bad for taking so many of the 3D puns. This is what you made it seem like the barrel was deep and full of wonders. Like, a 3D barrel full of 3D wonders.
Yeah, I may have misled you when I said there's a deep barrel.
You were so sure of yourself.
Infinite in size. Well, see, the main problem is I didn't think about it at all the whole time that you were drawing.
Okay. I mean, that's good. Because we talked about this days ago, so I had some time to think of 3D things.
Yeah, I thought of 4.
I thought of the same 4, okay? Like, it's just... But I wouldn't have taken all 4.
No, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So this...
Please explain.
This is a scientist. This is his lab coat.
I'd like to just say
he has like
this is how Ben sees scientists.
Big collar. This is like his crazy scientist hair.
What?
But he's bald on top.
Oh, that's what that is. I thought it was like one of those like golf, like Scottish golf hats, you know?
See, I gave him a black beard. I was giving him white hair. I'm just going to give him black hair.
You could give him like salt and pepper hair. Although I will say this, I am...
Yeah, but I'm not happy with the hair, so that's why I'm giving him black hair.
Yeah, hair covers a multitude of sins. See? I am proud of you, too, for using 3D black.
Yeah, you have to, or when you're drawing 3D.
Did you know we were invited to a painting event?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last time we were invited to a painting event, they made sure to ban us for every painting event since.
Something about us not being real artists.
Yeah.
You know? That was before our YouTube days.
Yeah,
back when we were just known on the streets as 2 poor artists.
But this is the same place that our auction was held at, where we made the most money.
Yeah, so they've
lifted the ban.
Yeah, they've lifted the ban on us coming and... But the thing is, do we go to a painting event? Do we go like all preachy and like, you know, standing up there on our soapbox like this is not art.
Like we just bring a ballpoint pen.
Hear ye, this is not art. This pigment is defiling the canvases. We're just like drawing on everything with ballpoint pen.
Or do we invent a ballpoint paintbrush? And paint in black.
Because that's the thing.
Ink.
Like, yeah, how do you convert a painter, right? How do you convert them to real art? It's not gonna be all in one swift step. Because they've got lots of things they have to give up. They have to give up color.
Yeah.
They have to give up brushes. They have to give up paint. They have to give up drawing. What did you draw? Sorry, I got distracted. You drew like a lobster claw on this man.
No, he has fingers. That's what these are.
Oh, that's
just how that's just how hands work.
Anyway, but how do you convert a painter? So you have to like get them slowly, right? Like the no color thing, that's easy. We're just like, have you tried 3D black? And once you go, you know, try and black ink, you're like, what else do you want to do? Like once you're going all over the canvas with black ink, you're like, oh, I see now. My eyes have been opened. The scales are lifted. And ink is all I want now. So that's easy. But like getting from a paintbrush to a ballpoint pen, you know, you have to give up many bristles and you have to give up the whole dipping every 3 seconds and the cup of water you have to keep next to you. And, you know, like it's a whole thing. You have to give up whatever that fancy thing is that all artists apparently hold, that board that keeps like multiple colors on it. I mean, I guess you can keep it. You just have to put a ballpoint pen on it like a tray. Right. So anyway, yeah, if we invented a ballpoint paintbrush somehow, then that would probably be a good step in the right direction.
Would it be?
I mean, it's better than
I like it would be a step in a direction.
in our direction. The real question, existential question is our way the good way? Yes. Is our way the right way? Yes. Is our way poor? Yes. What in the world is that thing? Again, I'd like to apologize for everyone for just for whatever I'm causing Benj to have to. I really did think he'd have some clever puns. That baseball creature, though, is something else.
I didn't say I had a pun.
You said you had a good. I guess you didn't say good. You said, "Oh, the barrel is full."
I'll admit that I said that.
Yeah.
About the barrel. But I never said good.
I guess you just said there's lots of things I could draw. There's lots of ideas. I didn't realize how bad they were. What is that thing? It's so creepy. And yet it reminds me of something, but I don't know what it reminds me of. What does it remind me of? It's eyes. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? You've played this game. For all the viewers, go Google the game Chex Quest. Chex Quest. Go look up a phlegmoid from Chex Quest.
Phlegmoid.
Yeah, phlegmoid. Here, we'll put one on the screen right there. Doesn't Benj's drawing look like a phlegmoid? By the way, if you don't know what Chex Quest is, let me just preach at you for a second. Oh, the arm is... This is so much like what we made the other day. Anyway, Chex Quest. For the younger generation, you don't know what this is. But back in our day, when the computer was just budding for the first time, and you could like the first computers made it into people's houses when we were in like elementary school. Maybe not the first, but like the first laptops around. Yeah. Anyway,
feet are
getting video games used to be tricky. Because, like, sure, they made some video games for computers. But for kids, I feel like the main source of kids' video games that I played growing up came from cereal boxes.
Right.
There were so many good video games that came from cereal boxes, and one of my favorite was called Chex Quest. Yes, Chex, like Chex cereal.
Yeah, because it came in a cereal box.
It was all about, like, members of an intergalactic... guild of space heroes fighting, and they were all shaped like different kinds of cereal.
It was a Doom clone.
Yeah, basically.
Like it was basically Doom, but for kids.
And it was wonderful.
Chex.
It was so wonderful. You've played as a Chex guy in like a suit of armor that was Chex.
Yeah, and you had like a spoon.
You had a spoon and a fork, and you had like laser guns also, but that was like your knife was your spoon and your fork.
Yeah.
And there was like a spork, like an electric spork thing looking thing. It was so great. And yet you fought against these things called phlegmoids. I don't know why phlegmoids were like the natural enemy of...
Everyone knows goo booger creatures.
Phlegm is the opposite of cereal, apparently. The enemy of cereal is phlegm.
But like that was a normal thing too, because like in the McDonald's game that existed, you were like fighting goo things.
Yeah, I guess they thought, kids can kill goo and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with every kids show and every kids video game having you shoot laser guns. They were like, well, if you shoot a laser, that's not bad.
Right.
Like Justice League growing up, all the Superman and Batman cartoons, all the bad guys.
Oh, they can't have bullets.
They can't have bullets.
Lasers.
Laser guns, that like evaporate the person. That's okay. So I grew up with like a healthy fear of lasers.
Yeah. Everyone needs a fear of lasers.
I had a healthy fear of phlegm and lasers, and I loved cereal. But anyway,
I think
this thing is horrifying. And it's really coming to life because what does he have a cape for?
He looks like he needs a cape.
What kind of scientists have capes?
This guy.
What is he doing?
Look at this guy.
Is this like that God and Adam painting that Michelangelo did? Sistine Chapel? They're like, I give you life, my child. And that's like his creation.
Yeah.
And then this is where like the villagers burst in and burn both of them to death, right? Because they're like, oh, it's alive.
Yeah.
Kill it. Burn it with fire.
And
Kill it with fire.
And it's 3D, as you can see.
It's like an abomination to the 2D world.
Yeah. They're like, what have you done?
Yeah.
Where did you get those extra dimensions?
What is he, like Dracula now? This is like a weird Dracula scientist. But it's not. It's supposed to be Dr. Frankenstein that brings things to life. Why'd you draw Dracula? With Super Saiyan hair.
Super Saiyan Dracula. Bringing to life the third dimension.
Why is the third dimension so gross? I mean, that's just what you have to ask when you watch our Easter video.
Why?
Our Easter video will make you feel ashamed and disgusted that you are in 3D. That's really what it did for me. Like, I'm looking forward to heaven where we're clearly not going to be 3D.
After that,
yeah,
there's no way.
Oh, that mouth doesn't help.
Its mouth is in 3D.
Gosh, I wish we could have created something in our 3D modeling that looked that good.
Yeah, because it's so much harder.
It's more disturbing. Why is he like, it's alive? Was he like handing him something? Like, here.
No, he's just...
Look at this.
He's like, doing the hand thing.
Like an evil grip on an invisible baseball?
Yeah. Like all
like
evil people do.
Yeah. Not a baseball. Baseballs are small. It's like wide open hand.
Wide open.
Like,
evil hand.
And the 3D creature is clearly karate chopping his hand.
No, he's trying to copy him.
What an evil duo.
But like he doesn't have fingers or like that his hand
all
is just
fused together into one
like a
block.
floating. Yeah.
Because making fingers is hard even in 3D. You'll notice in our Easter video they don't have bodies because we gave up so hard on that.
Yeah. Technically I made a body for my character.
Yes.
One day you might
we
see
tried
that.
to make a body for my character. It looked like a duck.
Yeah.
Because apparently every human just reverts to a duck in 3D.
It took me literally months to make the body of my character. And we tried to do Isaac's in like a half an hour.
So you're saying by next Easter, we can have 3D models that have bodies. That'll be how we up our game next year?
I think so.
And, if then the year after that, we just have to do 4D models.
People don't get rid of us somehow by then.
Well, that's morbid.
Well,
like, what is that? Like, unless the assassins come and take us out.
This could be seen as a threat.
Like us creating 3D art. Yeah, you're right. I mean, us creating 2D art has been quite a threat to the world for the last few years now.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm just saying, in next Easter. More,
yes, that's a good sign.
More 3D. More bodies.
That sounds really creepy, like serial killer talk.
Zero, more than zero.
Like we'll make 3D bodies. That's it. 2 of them are 3D bodies.
Well, we'll see.
Stop it. Stop saying creepy things.
We'll see where it goes.
Sign this drawing in 3D black.
Okay.
Yeah. You made your guy 4D technically because the cape, he's like in the cape. Maybe that's just 3D. I was always like, I don't really know what the difference between 4D is. I don't know. The fourth dimension, I think, is time technically, right? Growing up, 4D just meant that the 3D show you went to at the amusement park also like squirted water at you.
Yeah,
that's what 4D always was.
4D next week.
Yeah, and we'll have to come to every viewer's house and spray them with a spray bottle while they watch it. Blow air in their face and
whatever we like draw has to like. We need to do it in 3D and make them wear paper glasses, and then we just like throw water in their face.
If you wear dark enough 3D glasses when you watch our Easter animation, it won't be that bad. Like the kind they give you after eye surgery.
Yes.
Like double eye patches. Then the 3D animation will only hurt because you'll know it's there.
Right.
It's like it's the whole concept of like if you close your eyes, it's not as scary. It's still there, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what most of you do with our channel anyway. You watch it while you're driving. You do anything. I've heard from people. They do anything they can to watch our show in a way that they don't have to look at it. They're like, well, I was driving. I'm supposed to keep my eyes on the road, right?
I couldn't look at it.
I was doing heart surgery. You want me to look at the video? I listened to it.
Yeah.
Like I did it after eye surgery. You want me to look at it? People get eye surgery like weekly, our fans, so they don't have to. They have like a good excuse.
Yeah, they're like, I just got a concussion. I'm not supposed to watch the screen.
No bright lights, right? Like,
yeah. Some doctors tell you the exact opposite.
Yeah, concussions are weird things. But you know what's even weirder? Our art. Our 3D art is truly an abomination. Our 2D art just a regular abomination, just abomination, but not said as harshly.
Yeah.
Like abomination, like you say to a child, like you tried, you know, like the elementary art teacher that's like, here's your grade.
Yeah.
You know?
I couldn't fail you because technically
This is elementary art, and
you put art
you tried your
on
best,
the page.
and that's what matters, which is true. We try our best, right? Like people don't believe it.
You would think we would improve if we were trying our best.
People don't believe. I'm convinced of this. I would be willing to bet there is somebody watching this video that's like, these guys can't be this bad. Like, we don't. This is the one time a week we draw, right? Like, we don't practice. That's part of our. That ruins pure art.
Right, and obviously there's exceptions to that. Like when we made the book or whatever.
Well, yeah, when you're authoring and illustrating, you have to like put a little more effort in. Yeah, you know, if you're gonna publish it.
But generally speaking, in a regular week, this is that.
Yeah, and we don't get any better.
But you'll hear that from us in a bit.
In just a second. So I guess what we're trying to say is we're sorry.
We don't want to outro our outro.
We're sorry we tried to do 3D art. We're sorry we drew 3D today.
We're sorry about 2D. We're sorry about 3D. If we were doing 1D, we'd be sorry about that too.
Maybe that's next time. Like some lines.
Just
looking at it from the side, you know, like a piece of paper.
Just a single line and that's it.
It's an idea. Well, until next time.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.